Good evening and welcome to Africa Focus on KOW TV. I am your host today, Maurice Mbugwa. From the halls of power in Pretoria to the resilient streets of Hargeisa, we bring you the pulse of the continent, stories that impact and events that are transforming the African narrative. Now, we begin tonight with a significant moment in African diplomacy that highlights the delicate balance between national pride and international partnerships. In South Africa's capital, President Cyril Ramaphosa officially accepted the papers of the new United States Ambassador Brent Bozell. This meeting comes at a time when the relationship between these two giants is facing its toughest test in decades. Ambassador Bozell, a firm supporter of the current US administration, arrived in February but quickly found himself in hot water. His first public comments touched on sensitive issues regarding South Africa's history and its laws, which led to him being summoned by the government to explain his remarks. From an African perspective, this friction is about more than just words. It represents a clash of world views. Pretoria has taken a bold global stand, most notably in its legal case against Israel, an ally of Washington, while the US has expressed concerns over South African domestic policies. Now, during the ceremony, President Ramaphosa made it clear that while he welcomes partnerships, he expects foreign diplomats to respect his country's independence. The president also noted that true friendship is built on quiet discussion rather than public criticism. For South Africa, the stakes are incredibly high. The US remains its biggest trading partner on the continent, with over 500 American companies operating there. As Ambassador Bozell expressed his hope to take the two nations to new heights, the focus now shifts to whether this rocky start can turn into a steady walk based on mutual respect rather than confrontation. Now, leaving the mainland for the Indian Ocean, the island nation of Madagascar has officially declared a state of emergency. President Michael Randrianirina has signed a new law that gives the government power to take control of fuel stocks to ensure the country does not run dry. This is a direct reaction to the chaos in the Middle East. Madagascar relies heavily on oil from Oman, but with the Strait of Hormuz closed by Iran, the supply route for the island's electricity is under threat. This move is a survival strategy for a nation that remembers the pain of the past all too well. Just last year, fuel and power shortages sparked massive protests that eventually led to the government being removed from power. To avoid a repeat of that unrest, the president has even suggested stopping the automatic price changes that usually follow the global market. While the lights are still on for now, officials warn that if the war continues, it will eventually hurt the daily lives and the public services of every citizen. Now, this is a stark reminder of how a conflict thousands of miles away can directly threaten the stability of an African island. Moving on, the Republic of Somaliland is looking toward the future with a focus on technology and the environment. In Hargeisa, President Abdirahman Mohamed Abdullahi Ero chaired the 59th session of the cabinet, where he officially welcomed 4 new ministers to the team. These new leaders, covering areas from water to information, have promised to work with total honesty to improve the lives of the people. A major highlight of the meeting was a new plan for digital sovereignty. The foreign minister explained that Somaliland must protect its own data and improve online government services to boost its profile on the world stage. But the government is not just looking at screens, it is also looking at the soil. Plans are now in motion for a massive national tree planting day on April 15th. The goal is to plant 13 million trees to fight back against climate change, despite the global economic pressure caused by the Middle East war, which has increased the cost of fuel and imports. The cabinet remains focused on peace. The president praised local traditional leaders in the Aldal and Salar regions, noting that their work in keeping communities united is what ensures long-term safety for everyone. While some parts of the world hoped for calm this week, those hopes were shattered in Lebanon. Just hours after a ceasefire was announced between the US and Iran, Beirut was hit by what is being called the largest coordinated air attack of the current conflict. Over 100 targets were struck in just 10 minutes, turning apartment buildings and shops into piles of dust. Rescue workers have spent the day digging through the rubble, searching for survivors in neighborhoods where residents say they were given no warning before the bombs fell. Now, Israel has stated that the peace deal with Iran does not apply to its war with Hezbollah, leading to the deadliest day for civilians in Lebanon so far. This sudden turn of events shows how fragile a diplomatic breakthrough can be. While leaders in high-rise offices sign papers and announce truces, the reality on the ground for families in the Bekaa Valley and Beirut remains one of fear and loss. It serves as a grim warning that a ceasefire in one area does not always mean the end of the war for everyone. Now, as we watch the world navigate these difficult times, KOW TV remains committed to telling the African story with clarity and truth. Thank you for spending your time with us here on Africa Focus. My name is Maurice Mbugua.